Aloha. Welcome to Church of the Holy Cross, United Church of Christ in Hilo, Hawaii. It is the fourth Friday, had to count there, in August, and that means it is time for our community concert. So you're welcome to spend this hour with me, sharing in a few songs, and by all means, sing out if you know them, and hum along if you don't. And doesn't matter how loud you sing, the truth of the matter is I'm probably not going to be able to hear you, but give it a shot. Who knows? Well, there are three songs that you can always expect to find in one of our community concerts. We always begin with the same song, and we always end with a different same song. Well, this is the beginning one, This Little Light. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine, oh, all around the world. I'm gonna let it shine, all around the world. Oh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now I'm gonna sing this next verse as here in Hilo Town, and if you're in Hilo Town, let that be what you sing. But if you're somewhere else, well, sing it where you are. Here in Hilo Town, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, here in Hilo Town, I'm gonna let it shine. Here in Hilo Town, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel? I think not. Hide it under a bushel, no. You gotta let it shine, oh, hide it under a bushel, no. You gotta let it shine, hide it under a bushel, no. We've all gotta let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And don't let anybody blow it out. You gotta let it shine, oh, don't let anybody blow it out. Yeah, let it shine. Don't let anybody blow it out. We've all gotta let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine, 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 let it shine. And there you have it. We're off to the races. Well, not really. We're off to the songs. And this is one of my own, and it's a song about singing, so it seemed like a good song to be towards the beginning of this program. So the joy is in the sharing of the song. Can you hear the joy of a song? Can you hear it? Can you sing along? Your voice, it might be whispery or strong. The joy is in the sharing of the song. You don't read music, neither did King David, but we sing his ancient psalms nearly every day. Oh, the melody is creation, it's the task of generations. but the shepherd's joy goes on. Oh, can you hear the joy of the song? Can you feel it? Can you sing along? The voice might be whispery or strong. The joy is in the sharing of the song. Is it a new song you've never heard before? Now new songs are too precious to just pack it up and go. Now it is your mission to give and attend to the listen. The melody will carry you along. Oh, can you hear the joy of the song? Can you feel it? Can you sing along? Your voice might be whispery or strong. The joy is in the sharing of a song. So grab a partner and find another pair. Four is plenty for a band, eight is better yet. And if someone's got their own note, yours is feeling remote, imagine that you've harmony to share. Oh, can you hear the joy of a song? Can you feel it? Can you sing along? Your voice might be whispery or strong. The joy is in the sharing of the song. Yes, can you hear the joy of the song? Can you feel it? Can you sing along? Your voice it might be whispery, your voice it might be strong. Joy is in the sharing of the song. Oh yeah, joy is in the sharing of the song. Believe it, joy is in the sharing of the song. And that's really what these community concerts are about, is in this renewed pandemic, and in fact, in this period of the pandemic here in Hawaii and in Hawaii County, that is quite simply the worst we've seen so far. It seems important to continue with sharing music even if we can't share it in person. So that's why I do this, and I hope that it's striking a chord with you. And this is an old favorite. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morning. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Oh, Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo and sing fee-fi, fiddly-I-ho, fee-fi, fiddly-I-ho, fee-fi, fiddly-I-ho, strumming on the old banjo and singing fee-fi, fiddly-I-ho, fee-fi, fiddly-I-ho, fee-fi, fiddly-I-ho, strumming on the old banjo. And searching desperately for the right chord. Oh, dear. Well, let's see here. Sometimes you have to wait a long time during the community concerts to have this song come along. Tonight you don't. My darling Clementine. In a cavern, in a canyon, dwelt a miner, 49er, and his daughter Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Light she was, and like a fairy, and her shoes were number 9. Herring boxes without topses, sandals were for Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Drove she darklings to the water every morning just at 9, stubbed her toe against a splinter, fell into the foaming brine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Ruby lips above the water, blowing bubbles soft and fine, but alas, I was no swimmer, so I lost my Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. In a churchyard near the canyon where the myrtle doth entwine, there were rosies and other posies fertilized by Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Then the miner, 49er, soon began to be confined. Thought he ought to join his daughter, now he's with his Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. In my dreams she still doth haunt me, robed with garments soaked in brine. Though in life I used to hug her, now she's dead, I draw the line. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Well, fortunately, this sad, dreary tale has a moral, and here it is. Now, ye Boy Scouts and ye Girl Scouts, heed this tragic tale of mine. Artificial respiration would have saved my Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. How I missed her, how I missed her, how I missed my Clementine. Till I kissed her little sister and forgot my Clementine. Oh, my darling, oh, my darling, oh, my darling Clementine, you are lost and gone forever, dreadful sorry Clementine. Such a sad, dreary tale. Well, this song has nothing to do with Clementine at all. I'm not entirely sure why I decided it should come after Clementine, except that it is kind of energetic and maybe a bit of an antidote to the kind of bump of Darling Clementine. But this one is called Lift the Veil, and it is based on a Bible story from Exodus in which Moses would go to talk with God, and after talking with God, Moses' face would be glowing, and with something other than sunburn, one assumes. But the people found that really disturbing, which seems more than fair to me, actually, and they asked him to put a veil over his face until it glowed less. And anyway, this is a song about that. If you will live unchanging, do not scale the heights. Gaze upon the sunbeams as day overtakes the night. When Moses climbed Mount Sinai to learn divine detail, he'd come back with his face ablaze with light that would not fail. Oh, lift the veil, Moses, let us see the light that promises a divine dawn to follow human night. Ignorance and bigotry and selfish pride we'd sail. Oh, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil. It was not the fires of judgment that came blazing from his eyes, holy grace and mercy and the love that never dies. Still, the people could not bear the light. Oh, Moses, they would say, when you talk with God, veil your face, hide the light away. Oh, lift the veil, Moses, let us see the light that promises a divine dawn to follow human night. From ignorance and bigotry and selfish pride we'd sail. Oh, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil. Well, they couldn't bear the gleaming that came streaming from his brow. We endure the fire of love with courage even now. Prophecy will pass away, human tongues will cease. The love of God will never fade, it would light the warmth of peace. So lift the veil, Moses, let us see the light that promises a divine dawn to follow human night. From ignorance and bigotry and selfish pride we'd sail. Oh, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil, Moses, let us see the light that promises a divine dawn to follow human night. From ignorance and bigotry and selfish pride we'd sail. Oh, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil, Moses, lift the veil. Oh, I know I put it in here. It's to separate Clementine from this song, which is just about as long and just about as straightforward and just about as silly. Cindy. Oh, you ought to see my Cindy. She lives away down south. She's so sweet, a honeybee, swarm around your mouth. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Now the first I see my Cindy, she was standing in the door, shoes and stockings in her hand, her feet all over the floor. She took me to her parlor, she cooled me with her fan. Oh, she said I was the prettiest thing in the shape of mortal man. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. She kissed me and she hugged me. She called me Sugar Plum. When she put her arms around me, I thought my time had come. Now Cindy got religion, she'd had it once before. When she heard my old guitar, she's the first one on the floor. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. When Cindy got religion, she shouted all around. She got so full of glory, she shook her stockings down. Now I wish I had a needle as fine as I could sew. I'd sew that girl to my coattails and down the road we'd go. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. And I wish I was an apple hanging on her tree, 'cause every time that Cindy passed, she'd take a bite of me. Now Cindy in the springtime, Cindy in the fall. If I can't have my own Cindy, I'll have the girl of all. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, get along home, I say. Get along home, Cindy, Cindy, I'll marry you someday. Ah, yes. Well, Cindy is, of course, a kind of a bright and cheery song about romance and relationships. This is a song about romance gone awry. It's dialogue between him and her, only they're not actually present with one another. They are conversing via messenger, and I'm not talking about instant messaging. Here I'm talking about some poor unfortunate creature who's walking back and forth between the two of them carrying the messages. And whoever that is, you just got to feel sorry for them, because, ooh. In any case, the first part of the song is from him, and the second part of the song is from her. Scarborough Fair. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, without any seam or fine needlework. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to wash it in yonder dry well, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, which, yes, where water ne'er sprung, nor drop of rain fell. Must have been in Kona. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to dry it on yonder thorn, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, which never bore blossom since Adam was born. it's her turn. Pity the unfortunate messenger. Oh, will you find me an acre of land? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, between the sea foam and the salt sea sand. Or never be a true lover of mine. And will you plow it with a ram's horn? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, and sow it all over with one peppercorn. Or never be a true lover of mine. And will you reap it with a sickle of leather? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, tie it all up with one peacock's feather. Or never be a true lover of mine. And when you've done and finished your work, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, well then come to me about your cambric shirt. Or never be a true lover of mine. If you want my opinion, I think she got the better of it. This is a lovely and really simple and straightforward hymn from Hawaii, E Kolu Mea Nui by Robert Navahine. E Kolu Mea Nui Makaho Kamana o io, kamana o lana. Ame ke aloha kai oe ae. Po mai kaina mea apa. Po mai kaina mea keiki na mamo ayuda me palahima e pa kamanao I ka pono I oe age po mai kahina mea apa po mai kahina mea Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Michael rowed the boat ashore, hallelujah. Brother, lend a helping hand, hallelujah. Brother, lend a helping hand, Sister, help trim the sail, hallelujah. This is another song that I wrote, and as is probably not unusual for me, there's a biblical story behind it. And in fact, this is another one from Exodus, but from somewhat earlier in Exodus, when the people of Israel had just escaped through the Red Sea or the Sea of Reeds, depending on how you want to translate that. And after they are safe on the other side, Moses' sister Miriam gets a tambourine and begins to sing a song of praise. And there was kind of a little literary conversation going on between me and the great poet Marin Tirabassi online. And that became, in my case, this song, because in our imaginations there was another tambourine present that had been brought by one of the Egyptian soldiers. You won't find that in Exodus, just imagination. Told us to hustle. There was no time to leaven bread. Take only one bag or all of us are dead. The strap is over my shoulder as I flee from Egypt land, but there's a tambourine clutched within my hand. And I will ring my tambourine as I dance along the shore. I will shout the joy of freedom over welling waves restored. But there's another tambourine, it's floating in the marsh, and the wailing widows of Egypt mourn. They called out the soldiers with their chariots and spears. Will we go back to servitude, or will our graves be here? At the hip of a chariot driver, a tambourine finds room. He brought it to celebrate our doom. And I will ring my tambourine as I dance along the shore. I will shout the joy of freedom over welling waves restored. But there's another tambourine, it's in the marsh, and the wailing widows of Egypt mourn. The walls of water billowed as we slogged through mud and reeds. Will we lie in murky graves, or will we all be free? The waters took the army in the moment of our needs and left a tambourine fouled in the weeds. And I will ring my tambourine as I dance along the shore. I will shout the joy of freedom over welling waves restored. But there's another tambourine, and it's sinking in the marsh, and the wailing widows of Egypt mourn. Yes, I will ring my tambourine. I will shout the joy of freedom, but there's another tambourine, and the wailing widows of Egypt mourn. Yes, I will ring my tambourine as I dance along the shore. I will shout the joy of freedom over welling waves restored. But there's another tambourine, and the wailing widows of Egypt mourn. Yes, the wailing widows of Egypt mourn. This one's more of a comforting song. It's one of the songs that I used to sing on car trips with family. And it was usually one of the ones that my parents brought out when they were kind of hoping that my brother and I would fall asleep in the back seat. Not sure it worked very often, but... Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? For to carry me home, a band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, sometimes up, I'm sometimes down, coming for to carry me home. But still I know I'm heavenly bound, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. And if I get there before you do, coming for to carry me home, I'll cut a hole and I'll pull you through, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, chariot, coming for to carry me home, coming for to carry me home, coming for to carry me home. Trying to read a clock. It's very difficult. Numbers are small. This is one of the better known of Christian hymns, written by someone who had done great evil. He served on slave ships, and he left that work, became amongst the leaders in Great Britain's abolitionist movement, became an Anglican minister. Now, I'm not saying that minister is necessarily a more virtuous profession than others, but I'm pretty sure it's more virtuous than slave ship captain. The lyric is by John Newton. Heaven only knows who wrote this lovely tune for Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. The Lord has promised good to me, God's word my hope secures. God will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, there is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. Yes, there is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Sometimes I feel discouraged and think my work's in vain, but then the Holy Spirit Don't ever feel discouraged. Yes, Jesus is your friend. And if you ask for knowledge, He'll never fail to lend. Yes, there is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. Yes, there is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. If you cannot preach like Peter, if you cannot pray like Paul, you can tell the love of Jesus and say He died for all. This is another one of mine. Got a few years on it at this point. And it's a song, good gracious me, it's from the Bible again, 1 Samuel. Who would have thought? And it's about kind of an odd moment when the prophet Samuel puts up a stone monument. And he's erected it because war is over. And even as we are profoundly distressed by the chaotic and violent and terrible things that are happening in Afghanistan and at the Kabul airport, this song, I think, is a reminder that what we are witnessing is the chaos of war. War is always chaotic. And what we are hoping, praying, and I pray working for is peace. The song's called Stone of Help. Samuel raised an Ebenezer, he raised a stone of help. When his people were preserved from the power of war and death. So people place their stones today to honor those they've known, and all those souls who've shared this life and called this earth their home. Place a stone for memory, a stone of help create. Recall to us the love we've known and what love yet awaits. Love like stone seems tiny, yet builds planets out in space. Living stones are we, made of dust and grace. Samuel raised an Ebenezer out of the bones of earth to celebrate the end of war and give to peace its worth. With our stones today, Lord, we pray that you'll console your planet with your justice and peace for every soul. Samuel raised an Ebenezer, a stone upon a stone, at the summit of a hill where its shadow fell alone. Raised it on a stony planet, spinning around the sun. Samuel raised an Ebenezer, remember everyone. Place a stone for memory, a stone of help create. Recall to us the love we've known and what love yet awaits. Love like stone seems tiny, yet builds planets out in space. Living stones are we, made of dust and grace. And that brings us to the last song of the evening. And if you have been at these community concerts before, you know which one it is. The great hymn of love and celebration and honor to the island of Hawaii by Lorenzo Lyons. Okay, I think I'm back with you. The computer quit for a moment, so my apologies for that little gap in the stream. And we'll still sing Hawaii Aloha. E Hawaii kuone hana hoe, kuhome kulagirine, ori no agina pono lani o. E Hawaii aloha. Well, thank you for joining me for this community concert, and I hope you were able to stick with the gap in the stream. We will be holding worship on this YouTube channel and at holycrosshilo.com this coming Sunday. I hope you can join us at 10 a.m. We've got Bible study via Zoom next Tuesday at 3. I'll sing one song on Wednesday morning at 11. So, things coming up. But for tonight, be well. Get the vaccine if you possibly can. Take care of yourself and of others. And always be blessed. Aloha.